Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our deep dive into one of the most heart-wrenching shows of the year. Today, we're unpacking episode 3, and let me tell you, the emotional roller coaster just went vertical. The air is still thick with unspoken feelings, and the past isn't just knocking on the door, it's breaking it down. We begin with Alin, our brilliant but bruised fashion photographer, who's back in Thailand trying to piece her life and career back together. She's been running from a painful breakup, but she's about to run headfirst into a truth she's been avoiding for years. It all starts with a simple school uniform shirt, a relic from the past. On it, a handwritten message that hits like a lightning bolt. Jane loves Alin, can you love me? This isn't just a shirt. It's a time capsule of teenage hope and vulnerability, left behind by her best friend, Jane. The memory of Jane's childhood confession comes rushing back to Alin, and suddenly, she's drowning in a whirlpool of confusion, guilt, and a flicker of something she's never dared to name. The question hangs in the air, heavy and unavoidable. Did Jane really love me all this time? And why did I push her away? While Alin is spiraling, Jane is fighting her own battle. For years, she's worn the label of just a friend like a shield, standing by Alin through thick and thin, all while her own heart was quietly breaking in the shadows. She supported Alin's career, celebrated her successes, and hid her own feelings, convinced they would never be returned. But something has shifted. Jane is done waiting. The turning point comes during a fashion shoot. After a small mishap, Alin needs to tie a stain removal cloth around Jane's wrist. It's a simple, practical gesture, but as their fingers brush, the electricity is undeniable. In that moment, Jane looks at Alin and says softly, with a lifetime of longing behind her words, I don't want to be just a friend anymore. Boom. The confession is out. The fragile barrier Jane had built around her heart for years finally cracks. For Alin, this is a seismic event. She stares at Jane, her steadfast, supportive, safe Jane, and sees her for the first time as someone with desires and heartaches of her own. Alin has always seen Jane as her anchor, but now that anchor is pulling her into uncharted waters. All her ambitions, her self-doubts, her carefully constructed image, it all feels like it's closing in on her. The selfishness of her past actions starts to haunt her, chasing success, leaving for another country without a proper goodbye. Did she completely ignore the heart of the person who mattered most? The confrontation we've all been waiting for finally happens, and it's devastating. Jane, summoning every ounce of her courage, lays it all on the line. I've kept this in for too long, she says, her voice trembling but firm. I don't want to be your friend. I've loved you far beyond that. Alin is shaken to her core. She physically takes a step back, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. It's not just the words, it's the sheer force of them. The years of buried hope, the pain of waiting, the raw courage it took to finally speak her truth. Alin is stunned, not just by the confession, but by what it means for her own heart, a heart she thought she had under lock and key. The episode then peels back the layers of their shared history, and it is quietly heartbreaking. Jane opens up about everything. The day she slipped that shirt into Alin's bag, praying for a sign. The crushing silence when Alin disappeared without a word. The years spent waiting for a message that never came. As Alin listens, her initial shock melts into a dawning, painful realization of the hurt she caused without even knowing it. And then Jane delivers the final blow. When I saw you with her, she says, referring to Alin's ex, I pretended I didn't care, but it tore me apart. At that, you can practically hear Alin's heart crack. But even now, she can't find the words. She retreats into what she knows best, work. She tries to be the consummate professional on set, but inside, she's falling apart. Across the room, she catches a glimpse of Jane watching her with that familiar look of longing, now mixed with a new, wounded patience. In that moment, Alin has to wonder if the successful Alin she has been chasing was ever as important as simply being loved and safe. The episode leaves us on a breathtakingly tender, unresolved note. At dusk, Jane stands on a balcony, holding that fateful shirt. Alin appears behind her, the silence between them filled with everything left unsaid. Jane holds out the shirt, her expression a silent plea. Alin takes a breath, her gaze locked with Jane's, and reaches out, her fingers gently touching Jane's hand. The screen fades to black as they stand there, two hearts laid bare, on the precipice of a decision that will change everything. This episode masterfully pivots the entire story. The stakes have been raised to the absolute maximum. We've moved beyond the comfort of friendship into the terrifying, beautiful territory of confessed love. It explores the courage it takes to demand to be seen, and the fear that comes with accepting a love that could dismantle the life you thought you wanted. Now, Alin faces an impossible choice. Will she retreat back into the safety of her ambition, or will she finally accept that the true safe zone she has been searching for isn't a career, but a heart that has been waiting for her all along? Jane has put her entire soul on the line. She's vulnerable, yet stronger than ever, essentially asking, "Here I am. I've loved you all this time. Do you finally see me now?" And for the first time, Alin is truly seeing her not as a friend, but as something so much more. The next episode is going to be intense. We'll see Alin's internal war, Jane's anxiety now that her truth is out, and the ultimate question: will they risk everything for a chance at what their hearts truly want? I, for one, cannot wait. What did you all think of this episode? Let me know your theories and feelings in the comments below. It was an emotional one, so let's talk it out. Thanks for watching with me today, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.